Gacoka Gikuyu ngarute mbũri cia kĩama, ngathimĩrwo na irĩrio ũtonga wa rũrĩrĩ, hakanĩrĩrwo Ngai ũrĩa wa Kĩrĩnyaga. Ndacoka Gikuyu gĩtũmi ndĩ Mũgĩkũyũ.
First of all, I'm very elated, I'm very happy. This is our first intercultural meeting to ever happen. So I'm really, really happy. Please clap for yourselves. The Muidirado, that's my clan. We have 10 clans in our culture. And I belong to the clan of war. Those people who fight. I don't know whether I fight. But Muidirado, what they are known for is fighting. We are fighters. And I believe one of my fights is to fight for our altar to come back. We have so many problems. So many problems. And those problems will not be solved if we don't unite both men and women. It's a sad thing from where I sit. And some history kidogo, I began this Gikuyu Academy about 8 years ago now. We have never had such. Many people would come, ask questions, then leave. So much doctrines, so many, teachings and philosophies that demand the loyalty of our brains. So someone is coming to approach you as a cultural enthusiast or a ritualist, but she has or he has a lot of other beliefs and knowledge that end up making that person very confused. The white man is in charge of our curriculums and our schools. It is his intention to make us a confused lot. And it is in Africa that they ensure this happens. Through church and school. Those are the two remaining colonial institutions that really make it very hard for our people to see the challenges we have at hand. And I cry for the modern Gikuyu woman. I cry. And as I cry for the modern Gikuyu woman, I cry more for our children. Because it is not boiling nicely. I won't take a lot of time because I know a lot has been said and we also want to wind up. I know people are tired, some of you are hungry, especially those who have not developed the art of fasting. For us, some of us, we do fast. So those who don't fast, I know they're very hungry. But I'm grateful at least mefikisha hii masaa. We are winding up soon. So at least people can have something, can engage in another way. I also brought you some Muratina there. For just to taste and have a feel of a traditional liquor that used to heal our guts. I want to say this. I've observed, and being a cultural counselor, I've listened to many things. Now, I want to talk about two things only. One is land. Two is dowry. The modern Gikuyu woman is a trapped woman. She has caged herself. She's in a cage. And because this is a women conference, allow me to say this. We have empowered women who are making money. They can make money. Some of them are employed. They have money. And they're able to sustain their own lives without the help of their husbands. Yeah? So Let me use Njeri as an example. She's a lawyer. She understands the constitution and the laws better than probably some of us here. Unless that woman is arrested by culture, she's a trapped woman. Right? Unless culture humbles her to understand that submission to a man is not negotiable. We can navigate around paying of the bills. We can navigate around your husband giving you respect, about your husband, empowering you as a woman, but you submitting to a man is inevitable. I've listened to those speakers who were here before, and I've realized the energies that Apovia has brought here, none of them has achieved. Did you notice that? They are single women. I only had questions from Wanjogo and Njeri. You guys were silent. Yeah. The other one came, the same, you guys were silent. But when Apovia said, I'm married, then the energy changes. The room changed. You never wanted her to leave here. Actually, it's like she was forced out of here. Isn't it? In the interest of time. I'm very sure even Susan, if Susan will come here, she's also a married woman. I know we also have mothers here who can say something. The environment will change. There are two narratives of women. That act of submission. This thing is planned by my wife, and you didn't hear her calling me her husband, because it doesn't matter, right? What matters is to deliver the message at home. Unajua church inakuanga, my husband, wife ya pastor, kwanza wanapiga hata picha yeye na bibi yake, wanaweka hapo nje ya kanisa. Si ndio? Alafu wanapiga ya bishop na bibi yake. Kama yeye ni wa Harrison Ng'ang'a, apige Harrison Ng'ang'a na bibi hii side, na yeye na bibi yake hii side. What business do we have with your relationships? Right? So, she must submit to me. It is not a request. She'll submit to me right now. She'll submit to me even if I have, say, a negative impact. Probably I get an accident, I don't wish myself bad, or I lose my lines of income. Probably I get depressed, I start drinking daily. She doesn't have a choice but to submit, as long as she wants to be called a wife. But she can be empowered. Tuweza fungua biashara na yeye, anaweza niambia ninunulie gari, tukondisha shamba mahali tulime, kama Susan anasema analima. But she must. Submission is the hardest thing to explain to a single mother. I don't know. And the reason why I say this is because of our children. No woman can be a priest for her children. No, none. So the difference between a married woman and a woman who is not married is submission. These women that we have in the houses, they don't submit to us because we are angels. Yeah? We are not angels. We also have our mistakes here and there. But they keep going. That is something that has to be taught to our women, our Gikuyu women. Other tribes, wako, but hiyo singleness ni ya wenye wako hapa Nairobi. Wale wako nyumbani, it's very hard. Now, when a man dies, and he's a poor man, you'll never see women bringing their children in the burial. Have you ever seen one? Hata akijaribu akiwa mtu wa kunywa makeg, ako depressed, bibi yake alimwacha, aseme watoto, anaambiwa we, watoto wako ulilea. Isn't it? But when a rich man dies, na hakulea hawa watoto, hata hawajulikani. When a rich man dies, women wanaleta watoto wao. What does that tell us about women and your character? When a poor man is asking for his children, alipata depression, alifutwa job, akakuwa useless, as you say, ana akipiga simu, watoto ni wangu. Sasa pale akikujia watoto, mnamwambianga bro, ishia huyu, hata hajawakujia, ni maiti, lakini kwa sababu kuna ndio mnaletanga watoto hapo, huyu ni wake, angalieni venye anafanana hata masikio na mapua. Why? What is happening to our women? Why can't a rich man die na uko na mtoto wake na ukose kwenda hiyo mazishi na ukose hata kuonyeshana huyo mtoto? Niliona mama mwingine anaenda kusimamisha harusi kwa church ya second wife. That video was shared to us by Njeri. So she's there saying, yani the bottom line ni mali. So I was asking myself, if that woman anaoa bibi wa pili, that man anaoa bibi wa pili hana kitu, hata huyo bibi angekuwa anamchekelea. Na akichekelea hata huyo bibi, wewe kuja utaona vile hata sisi tuliona. But kwa sababu kuna pesa. So there's something to do with women and money. Hello? When a woman is empowered and she has money, she feels she should be single. She should not be asked questions. She should not submit, especially to a man who has nothing. Now, for men, when we have money, we feel that we should marry another woman. Can you see the conflicts? When we have money in our pockets, so we don't feel like we want to lose our wives. We want them there. But I want to go to Mombasa. I want to go to Mauritius. I want to go to somewhere with another. So the natural instinct of a man is not to chase away the mother of his children. It is to look for another. The natural instinct of a woman is to stay single, is to leave that marriage. Yeah. Huyu nimemvumilia miaka 15. So the question is, what happened? Alikuwa anakupiga? No. Hakuna umalaya mingi, anazunguka. But umevumilia 15 years. Sasa mbona usivumilie? Hiyo imebaki. But hapo kwa hiyo kuvumilia unapata kuna another aspect. Probably she's better financially than the man, or something has changed in her life and now she wants to be single. She wants to stay alone. The reason why land is not given to women in our culture is because women are very emotional. Number 2, our women are viewed to and serving the same purpose as land. So me as a man, I carry seeds, I have seeds. So I must plant these seeds somewhere. So where I plant my seeds and then we harvest children is viewed as my land. So my seeds, I'll also sow them somewhere. I'll harvest children. We'll have land, we'll sow seed for maharagwe and all other plants, and then tutavuna mazao. So in our culture, it is one of the highest form of abomination. And I know Njeri angeongea for long, ninyi mlichelewa kukuja, but she can tell you where we have many cases of land issues is in central Kenya. Now, in our culture, you cannot go and build your house in your in-laws' land. Ni sawa? So now I have Wanjogo here. She has been given land in her home, and then we build there. It's a taboo. Because I cannot be given a woman land, my land, and then on top of it, I'm added another land. In fact, in our culture, before you are given land, even if you are not married, rituals have to be done to make you a man. So even if you are not married, na uko na watoto, is not automatic ticket ya kuchukua nini? Land. The problem is now, of course, we have value in term, the value of the land and all those things, and Christianity, it's a mix. But part of the problems that we are having today is because we don't have our altar back. We don't have examples. We don't have cases. If you give a married woman land, you have brought her home. You have brought her back home. Na nimeshangaa sana Wamasai, Wajaluo, Waluya ni kama tuko the same on very many fronts. So now there's a Muma called Muma wa Kirore. Muma is a north that was taken by people in 1928. It was headed by a person called Dr. Ava from Tumutumu. But now said the Agikuyu should not follow their culture. We should follow Christian doctrines and teachings. So our parents, anybody born after 1928, some of them know nothing about culture. Hata ukimuuliza mbuzi iko na parts ngapi, they don't know. So those are our fathers, na ndio walikuwa naacha mashamba wanasema, ewe, hii shamba nimegawia huyu eka moja, nayo hii nimewacha ya wale wasichana ambao wanaweza rudi nyumbani. We don't have such words in our culture. Once your children are married, they are married. You cannot again leave a sound, kana ugetika kirumi, akas. So your girls are married, and you're saying, for the ones who will come back, are you intending for them to come back? In our culture, we didn't have ati muma mumoko urari obere. That means, before I die, if there is a girl who is not married, that is the one I'll give land to. I'll say, oyo. But because that particular girl is not married, as I am today, she'll get this particular share. So these men, the beneficiaries of Muma wa Kirore, they are old men. They're not like me. They are old, 80 years, 90 years. So they are seen to be more wise and more knowledgeable. And people will ask, you are young, how do you know those things? And our parents do not know. How do you know those things? But the other question is, why do I go to Inoro TV and your father does not go? Yeah? Why do I go to Inoro TV and sit and discuss culture and your father is not called? Because he has nothing to talk about. It's a gift we are given by God. It's like the Gen Z. So whatever we are talking about, we know we are ritualists. We are doing these rituals every day. Every day we are doing rituals. Every day we are trying to solve our problems, the curses, the nini, and we are fighting all over. But when we advise people, they say, no, you're not old, you're a young man. Then we say it's okay. Then after 5-7 years, someone comes back. So now she doesn't know, tell you she has been diagnosed with cancer. Ama amepata a certain disease that is strange. So they come to me very fast, but they won't disclose ni wagonjwa fast. Utakwambia ulikuwa umesema tufanye aje? But our worry is money, pesa, the value. It is killing people. People are dying. Me, I've buried people, mpaka sasa I don't have any feelings for death. Especially when I've given you a solution or an advice, you fail to do it. Now I've become like a mortician. I don't cry, totally. And I've buried many of my clients. Many. You can imagine that being kuwa modo 17 years ago. 17 years ago. So I've seen, so someone comes, then when things are bad, they'll still come. So the reason why we advise is because our parents, our fathers, my father was born in 1943. would be 82 now. I have my cousins, because my grandfather was a medicine man, so he had many wives. So I have very old cousins, the same age with my dad. They know nothing. 23rd of August, they are waiting for me to go and tell them how they are going to do a certain ritual. Are we together? So that man writes a will na anasema huko ati ha mami wanyu ati where I've subdivided this land should be left for girls, those who will come back, wengine wanapea even married girls land. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. Na mmesikia hata Wamasai, Wajaluo na Waluya. It's the same thing. But now hizo kesi zimejaa Kiambu, Murang'a. Umesikia zipi akisema hapa? Nimesikia kijibu akasema rarely. Na akasema I don't know why they don't go to court. It's because they understand their culture. Si ni ukweli? So we pray, and I pray, because I cannot talk again because of time. We look at these two issues are the ones that are destroying Gikuyu families. Land na rurashio. Sini sawa? Cases za mdomo na nini, they come in number 3. So my final submission is that the consequences of divorce are never felt by the parents. From the spiritual world, the consequences of divorce are felt by the children. Or the consequences of fatherlessness are felt by the children. Ukienda uchukue mtoto wa sister yako mwenye hakuolewa ama mwenye alitoka kwa ndoa na mashida mingi na makelele, hakukufanywa the necessary rituals za kumtoa huko, uchukue mtoto wake uishi na yeye kwa nyumba yako na ule huyo mtoto na ule na wako wenye wako na baba, their lives will be very different. Same house, same schools, same food, same advice, but huyu mwenye hana baba, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Then we start seeing, lack of priesthood. Now the problem is this. Kuna wenye hawana baba and they are very successful. Are we together? Kuna watoto wa single mothers very successful. Hata ukimwambia ati mambo ya mzee anakuuliza what do you say? Mimi naishi ala. There are also single women wenye walitoka kwa mabwana wakapewa mashamba za kwao wakajenga manyumba. So they are all over influencing other women. No, mimi nilipewa shamba na mama yangu na baba yangu na nimejenga. Am I dead? So mwenye anakuwa influence anaangukia kwa hiyo, because our God, you cannot understand God. So I'll say this, do what is right. Do what is right. Listen. We are not madmen. Listen. So when we say that a woman should look for a husband more, ama with the same valor na venye natafuta kazi, we mean it. Venye natafuta kazi ama pesa, tafuta bwana hivyo. Mugiro ama tabu inasemanga statement. Aisemagi results. Just like we say, it is bad to kill. Don't do abortions. So there are women who have done abortions who will advise other women, bana unaambiwa usifanye hiki kitu. Me have aborted 5 times. I'm here even with 3 kids. So wakati umeshika mimba, nasikia kama unasema mistake. So unaanza kutafuta wale wanawake watakupea tu advice. Unaanza kutafuta marafiki nini, sasa utapata marafiki wawili. Marafiki mmoja atakwambia zaa mtoto. Hiyo kwa shule ama ni untimely. Mwingine anakuambia hai, tuende kupeleke hospitali fulani ama daktari fulani. Mwingine anakuambia enda ukunywe majani kali, enda utumie dawa za malaria na antibiotics. So wewe utaenda kutumia hiyo njia alitumia ukufe. Si people die. Wewe utaenda kutumia hizo njia na utawapata mtoto tena. So the question is, the Mugiro says, do not kill, don't abort. But there are women who have aborted and they are successful and they are okay. So we don't understand God. Why would God kill someone anaenda kuabort, labda hata kama ni ball ya pili, na kuna mwingine ametoa balls 5 na akufi? Is God just? Is he a just God? Kama tumeenda kuiba na wewe unakuwa short, mimi nabeba hiyo loot yote. Na ndio kusema wewe ndio ulifala, ulipiga kona badala uende hivi. Mimi najua kuna vigeti hizi vitu. But reality ni kama umeuawa na bullet, I'll also be killed by a bullet. It's a matter of wewe umetoa balls 5 na mwingine ametoa kamoja akapata shida, hata wewe 5. Kuna siku moja Ruiru toraga ke mudhabiri. Isn't it? Hata wewe kuna siku moja utaenda kutoa na watu watakuja kupata damu na wapate mwili imelala kwa bafu ama kwa bedroom. Na wewe ndio gwiji wa kutoa nini? Mimba. So what I'm saying is this. Please listen. It's a matter of time. Mugiro ni kugaugaga. Do not steal, do not do this. Sasa inasema do not inherit land if you are married. Wacha ambia mzazi auze hiyo land akupatie pesa. Sinjeri nimesikia ukisema watu navigate. Hiyo ni one of the solutions. Ele mama, okay, my mother, I know you love me so much. You want to give me land to guarantee my tomorrow in case probably I'm chased out by my husband, but our culture does not allow. What I would urge, please sell that particular piece of land, give me money, and I'll do with it what I want. Sawa sawa? That's one of the solutions. Number 2, you see, as I said, Wanjogu can be given land na ikuwe imeandikwa, title imeandikwa jina yake. Hata mama yake na baba yake waseme, sorry, I have 2 minutes. Baba yake waseme hawajampea yeye, wamenipea mimi. Because when I die and she dies, the land will be left with who? Si ni ukweli? Yeah? So now the kids are not Anjiro, she's a Munjiro ama Muidherado. So the kids will suffer because of the Mugiro. That Aidherado cannot be given land twice. I'm given this land, I cannot be given another. So even if the parents are giving her, in the name of thinking they are giving her, they are giving me, because anything that belongs to my wife is mine. Kama yeye mwenyewe ni wangu, ni vitu zake kweli. I've seen divorces happening badly. Unaona mtu ameenda amenunua shamba, amechukua certificate, amepea mama yake, kama bwana yake hajui. With time, your marriage huwa ina break. You know why? You cannot lie to spirits. Spiritual world is not the physical world. You cannot lie. And hii ni kitu nimehakikisha mimi. I don't want to share here, but I told someone. Tulienda mahali, tukapata kaploti, ni hizi za kununua za makampuni. So I happen to know the person very close to me. Nikamuuliza unanunua shamba kwa nini na mzee ajui? Akasema no, unajua kama mwanamke lazima ujipange. Sasa utapeleka wapi certificate? Asi nitapea madhi. So we bought that piece of land somewhere. In fact, tulipatana kwa ofisi. Nikamwambia lakini jua, it's important you tell your husband. Sijasema uandike bwana yako jina. Mnaweza andikwa joint ama pia uandikwe, but please let your husband know that uko na property mahali. And let it be peacefully agreed upon. If my wife buys a property sahi na andike jina yake, I don't have a problem. Ati kusema lazima niandikwe, lazima tuandikwe, what for? I mean, I'm not material. Because what she's doing is for her children, isn't it? So even if I die today na kuna plot imeandikwa jina yake, the child will benefit. So it's not a problem that we can fight in the house. Oh, mimi ndio bwana niandike. No. Sasa nikamwambia please note. Now divorce itaanza kuingia kwako. She laughed off. Nakumbukanga hiyo laughter yake. Alicheka sana. Na akasema wewe kanajadua menyororoiga. Nimwona na certificate hiyo. Umepeleka kwa madhe. Si unadhania ati mzae atajua uko na land mahali mtakuja kuachana. As we speak right now, wameachana after 25 years of marriage. But Gitumu mwaga na Gitumu because hata nikimkumbusha saa hii ananiambia hapana, ni bwanangu aliharibika. No, 25 years of marriage, a quarter of a century. So I want to urge women, these things are very spiritual. Anything you own belongs to your husband. Life, children, properties, discuss with your husband. Have a family unit that is open. The problem is one, that the husbands of today and the men of today, we are the weakest in our culture. We are the weakest men ever. Research yakwa. Because we are emasculated. We are almost becoming women. Isn't it? We are almost becoming women. And the men are almost becoming, and the women are almost becoming men. Nilikuwa natoka pale kwa ofisi yangu hapo Juja. Kuna mahali wanajenga ukuta. Kwa sababu barabara imeharibika, nika drive pole. Nikaangalia pale. Nika realize, mimi na kuhesabu tu hivyo randomly, watu wa mkono wanawake ni wengi kushinda wanaume. Sikuwa niliona mwanamke anabeba, nilishindwa ni wanaume wagani hao wanabeba simiti na mgongo. Kuangalia vizuri kwa ni wanawake, nikasema let me slow down. Women ndio walikuwa kwa mjengo. Something that was not there. Why is it so? Mtanirudishia hii na mtaenda mkifikiria. Nikakaa nikasema, ule mwanamke, sasa siku hizi watu wa mjengo, watu wa mkono, wanawake ni wengi kushinda wanaume. So we can say wanaume wamekunywa pombe, they are unreliable. But what is happening to that woman? And I'm repeating it again. The woman of today is a caged woman. She's empowered, she has the money, she can pay her bills. But now, she has made herself unreachable. She has a man in mind who doesn't exist. You guys have to list. Unaona ile kale list. I want tall and dark and handsome. This man must be educated. Lazima akuwe na kagari. Hata perfume lazima anuke vizuri wewe. Huyo mwanamume hakuna bwana. Utafikisha hata 60. So what are you going to do? What is the solution? It is because you're empowered, but you've caged yourself. Get yourselves out of the cage. That means mtatuvumilia tu. Itabidi mtuvumilie. Ama unajua wanawake wanasema na gogo ama itumeha. When they were in their 40s and 30s, they would say, "Nitige mwana ilio. Na muthuri ilio. I can't feed my husband and feed my kids." No. Get out. The husbands get out. Then you are left with your boys. Your boys get to 40, they don't have wives. You still feed them. Aren't you feeding your husband? Isn't it the same thing? And this boy, amefikisha 40, amefikisha 35, hana bwana, hana bibi. Msichana hajaolewa kwa sababu ya mambo ambayo ungesolve wewe na huyo bwana. So the bwana tries to remarry, but you're there boasting and saying, "I can't feed my husband and feed my kids." I wish you fed that husband. Feed him. Feed him. Our women fed their husbands. Wengine wenyu mmesoma hapa kwa sababu ya mama zenu. Your father was a drunkard. Yeye alikuja nyumbani ni mlevi, ni kulala na kungorota. Si ndio? Mama yako ndiye kwenda twama, udhie tukudi itate, and mothers made sure that we went to school. But because of your father being tolerated by your mother, then you get what we call generational blessings. The priesthood is not cut. So kuna hiyo kuvumilia itabidi, sijui kama mtaweza. Wala wametuzaa waliweza, mama zetu waliweza, nyinyi mtaweza. Mama zetu waliweza kwa sababu pia walipata shosho wao, si ndio? Some of them were housewives. Sasa nyinyi mko empowered, nyinyi ni mawakili, madaktari, mmesoma, sijui kama mtaweza kuvumilia kama mama zetu. Okay. Actually, the reason why I started Gikuyu Academy was to ensure that our language doesn't go away. I've spoken in English since I stood here and Kiswahili, and I can still do the same in Kikuyu. Now, we feel so bad. It is so bad. I don't know what to say, but it is impossible for us to give wisdom and knowledge to young boys. Like now, you will bring your children for circumcision during December holidays. For international schools, some of them are already circumcised. But when I look at that boy, manze, I cannot tell him anything. Zero. I'm looking at the folk songs, the tales that I know in my head, the words. You getting it? So you're giving us boys who we cannot impart wisdom on. And it is the duty of a woman to ensure that the child is speaking their mother tongue. It's called mother. Ensure. That is the best gift you can give to your child, to ensure that they speak mother tongue. Let me give an example. Identity. Someone who is not able to speak their mother tongue lacks identity. They lack very serious tenets of wisdom that are buried in our culture and in our language. Yeah, there's a song that goes, Negoigwa Mokolia Kenya ne yaui Kirinyaga. You know that song? There's a place that says, Dorome yakwere yare na iromo imwamirire na magego. Who knows what that means? You get my point? It's a Gikuyu language. Dorome yakwere yare na iromo imwamirire na magego. Otioke tumutahikie warigai na tumuhure na tana. Ino Kenya tia mukoria mugeni Kirinyaga ya itugati. So you see, very deep. There's a song that Kerotara says, Viana doguru goroko na iradi mwai mugi nio tio ni uriwa huberada Gikuyu ni gyakio no huwe waigua ngiuga huberada Gikuyu ni gyakio no huwe waigua ngiuga. What have I said, Susan? Now, once your son does not do Nyumuli Gikuyu, you can't hear what I'm talking about, isn't it? Unless I explain. What about the children now? Yeah? When we are circumcised, there are very serious principles that one is told, because you are no longer a kehe, you are now a circumcised man. Our children cannot understand. It is not you cannot translate. Isn't it? Now, let's say Kurua. We talk about Kurua, isn't it? So, modo arua are, neakorago na oru. You getting what I'm saying? Oru. What is oru? Manhood. So, you know, when you say manhood, it doesn't fix it. Because I want to say, oru, dukanonie kehe oru waku. Now translate that for me. You should never show your your manhood. Yes. Now you're a man. So how do you differentiate that with never show a boy your penis? Because me, I don't mean penis. When I say manhood, I don't mean never show a boy your penis. It's not the same thing. They're two different things, right?
I think the right one is man.
What is manhood now? How can manhood? Manhood is my penis. But I'm talking about oru.
Now in English.
Yes.
People call it in their mother language. If you are Masai,
Yes.
there is the way you call it.
Yes.
If you are Hawaii,
So, nihotoe gariri muruguo ahiketie mugithi culture itu yugaga atiriri mwitu ucio mugithi ri oka guku gwitu ri atuo mugikuyu. You get my point? That's why Apophia said she's married in. So we will make her a nyokafi. Itio nyokafi. Kana wa ruguru, kana wa itherero. Itio kana wa maitha. Why are we saying it? That girl comes to Kisii, comes to our culture. We look for another homestead. She's born there. Yeah? Once she's born there, she's given a Gikuyu name for only one reason: rituals. Say, number one, in our culture, we say if they have a boy, before a boy is circumcised, he must go to his uncle and request for permission to get. So we don't get circumcised like the Kisii. For us, we are Gikuyu. Isn't it? Can't you go? So if the boy goes to the uncle who is Kisii, and Kisii is defined by his Kisii culture. So it means Iruarea Kanakau might have a hitch. Because it's about spirituality. These are spirits. Number two, if Kisii, you took dowry for the girl, and Kisii have a process for dowry. So we'll give the Kisii what they're asking for. But when your son, time comes for him to sell off probably or to receive dowry for the daughter, he's a Mugikuyu. He's not a Mki. So if Kisii asked for things because they are Kisiis, this man here is a Mugikuyu, the girl is probably named after you, and we want to sell this Gikuyu girl. For us, we have our own process as the Age. So the crisis cannot be seen now when the children are young. The crisis is ahead. Are you getting my point? And that now comes with so many issues that we are having them today. Today we are dealing with those issues every day, because of that intercultural lack of awareness. Sibilisikia hapa mtu akisema mambo ya potato. Ati kama mtoto sio wa bwana ya huyu, akienda anyolewe atakufa. In our culture we don't have such. We don't concentrate where the pregnancy is coming from. We concentrate with the naming of the child, and because the child is named after my side or the mother's side, that is all. As a Gikuyu, we don't have rituals where we want to ensure lazima ikuwe ni sperms zangu zimezaa huyo mtoto. So huyo amesema lazima atakufa, si ndio? Kwa hivyo wanaendanga wanaweka no gorio, lazima huyo mtoto atakufa, which is not right. In our culture, we don't have such. Isn't it? So all we are saying is, as women, what will you do to ensure that our language does not die? It is simple. Speak to your child in Gikuyu. That will save us. But if we agree that we want to become Englishmen, the effort you are using to teach them Kiswahili and English is the same. Nilikuwa naishi kwa ploti hata mimi ikiwa college. Na ulikuwa unaona mtoto wa kabila zingine anaongea Kiswahili, akiingia kwao kwa nyumba wanaanza kukoroga Kikwao. Sisi tunapelekanga Kiswahili mpaka kwa nyumba. I've realized it. I don't know whether you people know it. So, I want to request that you people talk to your sons and your daughters in Kikuyu. My last submission is urune manhood, sindio? So in our culture, how we circumcise boys, kuna different styles. And there's something that is called ngwati. How do you call ngwati in English? Is there a name? Huh? And the bishop, remember, we are giving it a name which will carry the same weight and the same wisdom that we are looking for. And I speak these things passionately because I'm very much involved in mambo ya Irua. So this boy is there. I want to tell him deep stuff, deep wisdom. He's going to become a man. But I can't. Because I have to use English ama Kiswahili. Kuna vitu you cannot translate. Yes. Yes. Initiated, yes.
It's not only for Kikuyus, because even in churches they are doing it. And I can see that even Jaluos, Ruyas, they also bring their children.
Yes.
And even in that Kikuyu way of doing it, I have a friend who is a Kikuyu man, and they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Not only Kikuyus and Kikuyu. We have also different tribes. How do you tell them? They have a trading how.
In Adhuria Kiama, we don't accept other tribes. Yeah, we don't. Unless the mother does not even disclose the father of the child, right? Unajua kuna wale wa single mothers. Anakuja na brother yake, anasema bwana yake hajui. Tunamuulizanga, anajaza form. Huyu mtoto ni wa Mkikuyu, anasema but some of them lie.
We are misogynistic, we are narcissistic. It is expected that every man will become a narcissist by the time they are married. Unanisikiza? By the time I'm a narcissist, it's only that I tame myself using culture. Sometimes I want to make noise to my wife that I could be really narcissistic yangu na nyamaza. Because I'm a narcissist. Misogynism and the doctrines and the teachings are telling me I should be a narcissist. Kama huyo mzee. My wife amefunzwa na system to be a feminist. My rights. Now, hiyo nyumba haiwezi kalika unless we look for order. I'm a narcissist, she's also a feminist. Kama ako na pesa yake, nisidictate pesa yake. Kama niko na pesa yangu, asidictate pesa. Sasa yeye na pesa yake, mimi na pesa yangu. Hiyo nyumba itakalika. Now, to answer your question, we speak to men also. But this fight between me and her, as we are fighting, we have children who are growing. Yeah? Sasa hii vita, kuna mtu ambaye ita affect vibaya sana. Na ni mtoto. That's why I keep talking to women more, because wao ndio kuja tena kulia. I go with her to rituals. She comes to the office, so she has seen it. Probably she has an experience that many of you do not have. She can tell you 99% of people who come to me crying because of their children and the status of their children are women. I don't find men. Mnanisikia? So I said, can I take my time to advise these women? Because, yes, I know it's their right. I know men are not okay. But before we sort men, let us first of all sort children. Women atapiga kifua, atalea mtoto vizuri. Kijana ako sawa, by the time he's 20, 21, 22, 23, ako rehab. Tukikuja kuangalia mbona jamaa ako rehab, hizi steps to your child. The story begins, nilikuwa nimeolewa, nikatoka. So the spiritual solutions for our children, the weight lies more to a woman's decision than a man. Because men are weak. I say we are narcissists unless someone trains themselves, you have to introspect, culture inaingia ndani ndio uweze kuwa binadamu. Mwanaume umefanywa kuwa mnyama. That's why a man will stand and say, these are my children, but I don't like this woman. It was impossible. Once you follow culture, you also become human. You understand? Huyo mtoto ndio akuja amebebwa na mimba, kuna mtu amekufa, amenyonyeshwa, amepewa amekuwa cared for, so I cannot dismiss that woman. And that's why in our culture we don't have divorce. Land belongs to men. But even if your woman was so bad, amekuaibisha, amecheat, amekutusi na watu, lakini kwa sababu wako na watoto, hauwezi kumfukuza kwa hiyo land. So ulikuwa unamjengea hapo, kwa hiyo kwanza ulikuwa unamjengea hapo kwa barabara. So your woman will go have other men. She doesn't listen to you. She doesn't give you respect at all. Na also better kuonyesha so. Lakini huwezi kumfukuza kwa land kwa sababu ya watoto. You can imagine that pain of a man seeing a woman you can't control, lakini kwa sababu culture dictates. Culture dictates. Because kama wale wanataka kawa ninyuo. So I want you to flip the coin. We don't fight women empowerment, but an empowered woman who has cultural knowledge is the best wife. Mnanisikiza? An empowered woman who has a bit of cultural knowledge is the best woman because she will understand the spiritual and cultural consequences to the children on how he treats his husband.
Mimi nitafikisha hapo, and I'll say God bless you all.
Gacoka gĩkũyũ ngarute mbũri cia kĩama, ndathimĩrwo na irĩrio ũtonga wa rũrĩrĩ, hakanĩrĩrwo Ngai ũrĩa wakĩrĩnyaga, ndacoka gĩkũyũ gĩtũmi ndĩ mũgĩkũyũ.